So exactly 509 years ago, when the Protestant Reformation happened, one of the motivations behind the Protestant Reformation was to eliminate papal authority in the authority that the Pope has. But when they did that, even now we can see mega church pastors and in the Pentecostal denomination within Christianity, there are a lot of smaller CEO that run their own brand, their own church that has branches all around the world that is almost like their own brand, and they are the leader of that brand, which have a salary, unlike the Pope.
Yes, because our Pope and the popes before that, they take the vow of poverty, like our Pope currently now, Pope Leo the 14th, because he was part of the Augustinian order. So he took the vow of poverty. And what's very interesting is, let's say he's at home in his house and he needs a new pair of shoes. He cannot just order the people there and say, "Get me a new pair of shoes." He will never do that. He must go to the Catholic Church's budgeting team and he must ask them. And if they do not have the budget for it, then he doesn't get the shoes.
One thing that is really fascinating about the Catholic Church is that Vatican City owns no private jet, unlike Kenneth Copeland.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the guy owns two now and a few Rolls Royces at the same
Well,
time.
yeah, he does, which is very absurd. But if you think back 509 years ago, this is what the Protestant Reformation caused. Individual CEO being able to control their own empires, being able to spend lavishly and live an extravagant lifestyle.
I mean, not only Kenneth Copeland, there's so many other mega church pastors now. You got Joel Osteen and just so many more, and some that we don't even know in other places of the world. They could be having millions and millions of dollars just kept to themselves.
So, one of their models, the way they work is kind of like this. Let's say I'm a Protestant pastor and I'm the founder of a Protestant pastor. Now, this is not to say that all founders of the Protestant pastor is in it to make money. Obviously, there are many Protestant pastors that are with a pure heart, but I'm saying that there are certain mega churches and Pentecostal churches that the core motive in the beginning was good, but the greed of a man takes over. That's why it is very important that the person who started your church is not an ordinary man, which is for us, it is not. The person that founded the Catholic Church was Jesus Christ. So the way the system works is like this. I'm a Protestant pastor, I founded a church, and I do a offering, let's say God's offering or tithe or something like that, right? An offering. And you pay that offering to me, but instead of me saying, I'm going to use the offerings for charity for children or use it to help those with disabilities or the homeless, I use it to start new churches. Now, if I have David as an employee, and something that's really fascinating with mega churches, and the Catholic Church does this as well, for a non-profit organization like churches, you don't get paid for your labor, right? You do it on your own accord out of charity.
True. I mean, that's how charities work. You do it by yourself. Even though you don't get paid, you do it out of the goodness of your heart.
So the way they do it is they wow you with overwhelming hospitality and they ask you this simple question. Well, look at the hospitality that you have experienced today. Wouldn't you want everybody in the world to be able to experience their hospitality? And you will say, well, yes, I want everybody in the world to experience their hospitality. So you donate to their church for them to start new churches. And the way it works is because your labor is free. Let's say you work for their production segment and you work for free, they don't have to hire anyone. They keep the cost extremely low, near zero, because they don't have to pay for anything. Maybe they pay for your food, maybe they pay for just your drinks or whatever, but they don't have to pay for your labor cost. Think about this.
I mean, really, if you think about it, right? Food, drinks, okay, they will be paying for everyone else. But for the work that you're putting in, like let's say you're head of the media team, and every time you must wake up early every day, you have another job somewhere else, but you're still putting in more effort into church. That is good. Putting in effort into church. But
It is. We can
overworking
see the
yourself to
altar
that
servers.
point,
May God bless them. It is
oh,
extremely good to work for the church. But what is the difference between Catholicism, the Catholic Church, and all these other Pentecostal movements? So, as I have stated, the Pope receives no salary, and there is a budgeting team within the Vatican, which is not at all similar to smaller organizations like Pentecostal movements or non denominational movements, which have a single head. The founder is the head of the church. And let's say they gather board members that are extremely loyal to them, right? They gather board members, and after that, they can set their salary, right?
yes, they can. I mean, they are working in, like, let's say it's a legal loophole or a gray area where they can set the salary for each other. So if, let's say, I like a single person more than another, maybe I can push their salary slightly higher.
Well, usually how these organizations, if they were corrupt, usually how they work is that all of the board directors work together to create a salary where everyone earns equally, but extremely high salaries. And the way they do it is like this: you donate to them to form new churches. On their journey to form new churches, they need to pay themselves their salary, right?
Correct.
So they need to pay themselves their salary. So they pay themselves extreme high amounts of salary, and they can also deduct like travel expenses, planes, all of that, right? They can deduct that as expenses. And only then the money that is left, they use it to start new churches. And starting new churches is actually beneficial towards them
I mean,
because they
yeah,
can redo this cycle over and over and over again while keeping their production level extremely high, but their production costs extremely low because they will say, well, do the Lord's work for my church for free, which is extremely good, and the Catholic Church does that as well. But what is different is that the Catholic Church, the Pope, does not receive anything. To make it clear, the Pope is the head on earth, but of course, the head of the Catholic Church, the ultimate king of the church, is Jesus Christ.
amen, Patrick. And yes, I get what you mean. How opening new churches would be beneficial to the pastors because more churches means more streams of income too. So more money
That's
goes to them.
That's right. And they can start individual organization with the same name as well. And individual organization needs individual salaries. So you can see how this is a cycle. This is some sort of a monopoly at this point because think about this, you're a mega church pastor, you get usually they get children to do it. Sometimes they even get children to do it, which is
Wow.
right. There are children altar servers as well
Yes.
because they do it on their free
And
will.
difference between these pastors and altar servers is what these kids are doing for these churches. They are pulling other people in. They are getting money for their church. Whereas, remember, altar servers are working on their own free will and they are helping during the mass. They are not constantly pulling people, you should give money to my church, you should give
Because there
money to
is
my
no
church.
media segment in a Catholic church. There is no
Yeah.
like big projector screen. There is no performance that's supposed to wow the crowd. Nothing like that. It's just a priest, our good old priest giving a homily.
I mean,
That
Patrick, I
doesn't
can't
use a
lie
lot of
though.
money.
I don't know. Whenever I go into a Catholic mass, I still feel that wow factor, even though being a Catholic for so many years.
It is. It's like heaven and earth touching. It is not like, but it's literally heaven and earth touching. So you can see how they can constantly restart this cycle. The pastor get free labor from people who are willing to help the church. People who are willing to help the church again, right? They donate their hard-earned money from their separate jobs to the church to start new churches, and this cycle can go over and over and over again if their pastor's salary is high. So yes, corruptions can happen very easily, and because their churches is not started by Jesus Christ like the Catholic Church, it is extremely vulnerable.
So the question is, how do they actually get donations? So let's say Patrick is in the Pentecostal church and he invites me to go to his church. And from there, he's like, hey, Benedict, he nudges me a little bit. You see how great my church is. We're opening up a new location every month in every aspect of the world. And I'm like, wow, their hospitality is so great. I came in, they gave me a bag of free gifts, they gave me food, drink, and I'm like, wow. So I donate my money to them because of how great they made it seem. But in reality, when I join their church, then I'd go against what they say, then I just slowly get shunned away.
But I believe that their preaching also plays a big part in pushing you to donate for their church.
I mean, yes, especially in certain mega churches, they just push and push. You should offer to the Lord. And they like to say, money is prayer to the Lord. What kind of BS is that, Patrick?
Money equals more blessings. That is their slogan.
Hmm.
You give more, the Lord will give you more in return. So if you give more money, you'll get more blessings. Give more money, you'll get more blessings. But I don't know about you. When I donate to the Catholic Church or any other organization in the world, I do not expect anything in return. It's like when Jesus died for us on the cross. Yes, he wants all of us to be good children and live with him for eternity in heaven. But at the end of the day, we have free will to choose if we want that eternal life or not. He does not force us to choose that. So he gave us free will. So Jesus dying on the cross is the ultimate evidence that he does not push you to do anything. You can freely choose. It's not like he expects something out of you. And this is very different in the non-denominational / Pentecostal church. Is like they appeal to the prosperity gospel, which is the more you give, the more the Lord will bless you.
Thank you for watching episode 3 of The Protestant Paradox. If you got to this point, we would greatly appreciate it if you would comment, like, and subscribe. And please, if you really enjoyed this video, please consider commenting, liking, and subscribing. Bye-bye.
That is the same thing.
Hello.
But if you did enjoy today's video, please like, comment, and subscribe. This is just to let you guys see a little bit of the behind the scenes of the Mystical Converts. All right, bye bye.